What's going on YouTube? Omega Guilford here, bringing you a finally overdue deck profile of the new zombies. This is post the September 2022 ban list, and it's actually going to be a totally different setup from what I had before with this inclusion of the Vendreads. So without further ado, let's get right into the profile. We'll start off with one of our main boss monsters, Vendread Executor. So he essentially is almost like a towers when you combo him with something like Vendread Core, making it so that only he can be targeted by his own effect, and with Core enabling him to be protected from targeting. So essentially protects all your cards on your field from targeting effects. Then from the new set, we have our Scavenger. Scavenger is played because he's another level 7, so we can dump off of one of our ritual spells directly from the deck, so we can make our Battle Lord relatively easily. Additionally, you can also pump him up pretty big, so if you have problematic monsters to get over, he can take care of those. And secondly, because he's also a pre-prep target, so we can fuel our hand with the ritual spells that we need. Next up, we have 2 Battle Lord. Battle Lord essentially is Shockmaster, but a little bit watered down. He's there because you can make him right away and essentially lock your opponent out of using monster effects if you fear any hand traps, leaving you only susceptible to things like Infinite Impermanence and those kinds of cards. But really good, only a 2 of, that's all you need. And then our Vendread Slayer. This is one of our main guys. This one searches a spell upon being sent to the graveyard after being ritual summoned, whereas Battle Lord searches a monster. And they both dump Vendread monsters into the grave, which is crucial because if you don't have the right rituals that you need, you can dump the ones accordingly. Next up, our other boss monsters, we have 1 Doom King, because Doom King is an amazing boss monster. 1 Algul, because Algul has additional synergy with the ritual spells. If you banish him from graveyard, he can summon himself back onto the field for additional fodder for ritual summoning or link summoning. And then the 1 Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, really good as well, similar to Algul, where if she's banished, she can recur herself back onto the field. Foolish Burials, any zombie that you might need. And all around good monster, level 6 as well, so it's a single tribute for Slayer. Then another new card for Vendreads, we run 2 Scar. I feel like 2 is enough. 3 sometimes gets a bit cloggy, and it being a once per turn effect is a bit of a hindrance as well, but being level 6, single tribute for Slayer, and searching any Vendread spell or trap is really good. Then our little Vendreads, we got our Revenants, our Hound Horde. This makes it so that your rituals can banish monsters as a quick effect. This one makes it so that your rituals can banish spells and traps. Typically, you would use the Hound Horde and Core to make Executors so that you can deal with cards like Mystic Mine or any other floodgates that might come your way. But the Revenants is also there because you can summon it off of charge, and being a level 4, it helps you get to that level 6 or higher ritual summon requirement. Then our last 2 are Striges and Core, and these are because there are free bodies on the field. Striges can summon itself out for free. Core, you can banish something like Algul or even Shang-Chi to summon itself out and get additional monsters on board like that. This provides a blanket protection from targeting for that 1 monster, and with Striges it makes it so that you can draw a card. And then we have 1 Anima. Anima is more so just for recursion, and it's essentially to get back to your banished Vendreads that you might want to use again for another ritual summon. So that's why we play just a 1 of, and that's our Vendread count. Then our zombie support, we only run 2 Unizombie. Normal summoning isn't really that crucial in this deck, and the deck space is a little bit tight. Foolish Burial Monsters is important, but we have other means of doing so with our ritual spells. So I feel like 2 Unizombie is enough. I'm only playing 1 Mizuki and 1 Banshee. 1 Mizuki because you only really need it as an extender to further your combos. Drawing into it isn't really as good as running a pure control build or even a danger build. And Banshee, we just need the 1 copy to get into our zombie world, either during our opponent's turn or during our turn at the end of our combos. And then for our last 2 monsters, we have 1 Mauler and 1 Bloom. Mauler being really good because free extender, level modulating, and being able to summon itself out. It also makes for level 6 synchro plays really easy, and that'll come up in one of our cards in our extra deck that you'll see shortly. Onto our spells, we run 2 Zombie World. Zombie World, again, don't really need to say much about it. Crazy Floodgates. I feel like only 2 is enough because we're not running a pure control build. It's more of an aggro build to combo off into big boards. Then our power spells, we have 1 for 1 and Called By. Both really good. 1 for getting you Core or Glow of Bloom onto the field, even Anima, and also 1 Foolish Burial because, again, we can send whatever we need to the grave. Then we run 2 Allure of Darkness just for consistency, and also if you banish Shang-Chi from it, you get additional benefits out of it, so it's really good. Then we run 3 Pre-Prep. Pre-Prep, a lot of people might be confused about, but you can search Slayer and Origin, or you can search Scavenger and the new ritual spell, which is Ravenous Vendread, getting you a +1 in card economy, and also getting you the ritual spells that you need at that time, because if you open it with the Ravenous Vendread ritual spell, and you need Origin, you can get that, or vice versa, and furthering extending your plays. Next off to our ritual spells, we play 2 Origin. 2 Origin is more than enough, and it's not once per turn in terms of ritual summoning, which is really good. That's why we play 2 of. And then we put 2 Evolution. Evolution to Foolish Burial, Vendread from your deck. So it's really good to get Battle Lord first turn. Then we play the 2 Ravenous. Ravenous is one of the new cards. Very good in getting any Vendreads from your deck or even your graveyard back onto the field and face down to give that additional effect from when they're used as a ritual monster, or for the ritual summon rather. Then we play the 1 Charge and the 1 Daybreak. These are both searchable off Scar. Charge because you only really need the 1 of, and it's a hard once per turn. Fuel your grave with sending zombies from hand to grave, and getting you that additional effect that you might need on your ritual monster. Daybreak is a tech 1 of because in simplified game states, or if you're left with not much on board, Daybreak can have a high impact against your opponent, especially if they don't have any spell or trap negation to clear the whole board. So that's it for the main deck. Main deck is, I believe, 41 cards if I'm not mistaken. Onto our extra deck, we play the 1 Immortal Dragon. Immortal Dragon is just an amazing card. We play Felgrand as our 8. And then we play 2 10s, and those 2 10s are your Zombie Dragon Lord, and you play the Supreme Sovereign. Supreme Sovereign has amazing synergy with any zombie-based deck because there's a lot of banishing, a lot of cards going to the graveyard, so it can get really big and also increase your opponent's monsters. And with the Zombie Dragon Lord, reborning zombie monsters on your opponent's turn, it ends up coming in pretty clutch, especially if you're reborning Felgrand for that additional pop or banish. Then to our Xyz, we play 1 Pilgrim Reaper. This is essentially our substitute for Chaos Ruler. It's nowhere near as good as Chaos Ruler or easy to make, but it is a viable option that we can use. And it can also get pretty big depending on how many cards are in graveyard. We run 1 Titanic Galaxy. Just for any mind players or any board breakers, we want to be able to have some kind of spell negation. Also, the fact that it can redirect attacks if you're left with a board of small monsters comes in pretty handy. And then our boss monster, the Zombie Vampire, not much to be said about it, just really good synergy with the deck, a big beater, mills your grave, fuels your grave for whatever you need. Then to our Link monsters, we play 1 Link Revo. In case you draw Anima, Core, or even your Glow Bloom, you can get your play started with that by getting into the Link Revo. And the additional benefit to this is if you make it off the rip with Glow Bloom and your plays are very linear, you can usually end with a Core or an Anima on field and get your Link Revo back onto the field by triggering those on your opponent's turn and protecting you from any battle. Then we play 2 Vendread Savior. Amazing card. A lot of people know it for its Foolish Burial effect during the battle phase, but its additional effect is I can add a Vendread card from grave to hand, so it comes in really handy to get back those ritual spells to further your plays, or get back any monster you might need. Then we run 1 Sucker and 1 Dark as the last Link 2s. Sucker because it's an amazing zombie monster, synergizes really well with the deck, getting you additional fodder onto the field. And dark, it helps lane climb. Most of the decks in the meta are darks, so it does come up quite a lot, and just being an overall really good link, and searching your deck for any potential card that you may need when it gets destroyed. Then for our last links, we play one Appaloosa, because more negation is always best, and I feel like it's one of the better link 4s that you can get into. One Access Code. Access Code, go for game, or you can even use it to pop some cards on your opponent's board in a simplified game state. You can go for a game from there. And then we play one Ukiona. Ukiona synergizing really well with the deck again, and a lot of decks being graveyard based in the meta, like Cheerlements or Heroes or any other decks that synergize with the grave. This will come up quite a lot. Not so much good against Sprite, but that's where we have other cards in the extra deck for that. So that's it for the deck profile, guys. Again, apologies for the delay. Life's been pretty hectic, but I hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned, more videos coming up, along with combo videos, and yeah, look forward to seeing you guys again. Peace!